Hi, Chatty. How are you?
And you really are surprised?
I am.
I thought for sure you knew what the whispering was all about yesterday.
Till just a half a minute ago.
I want to know how.
All the cars.
Because
Except the gifts set me off. Or I'd have been totally surprised. It was just up to the house. I put the gifts in the trunk of the car, or the truck, and she got them out and put them in her car. Seems strange.
Should have kept it.
well, I did think this morning we could have at least faked it last night and pretended last night was it.
Where's the
Just to
others?
throw you off.
Where'd they go?
Thank you.
They're not down.
My
Are
surprise.
they here?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear
Who's
that.
that?
Sherry.
Barry, we only do this every half century.
Hey, you won't have a chance to do it again.
Never can tell. Yeah, that's right. You never know.
Well,
come and sit down. There's no rush on the
Oh, hi, Dean. Hey, Barry, didn't shake your hands this morning.
I'm glad I forgot. I'm glad
I didn't know. I was totally
Remember,
Oh, really? You guys got up and at it? You're skinnier than you were the last time.
I finished. I come home about.
You been on a diet?
Just been working hard, and we were about 2 weeks away. So Walmart does too. Marathon wants to grow.
Hi there. Well, everyone's going in today. You might want to make it
So I might be going back to Massachusetts. I'll share more.
Is that right? Are you serious?
Kyle was 11, Jacob's 12. He's an old man. I'll show you the ropes.
Yeah. Kyle, what grade school are you in?
How are you doing?
Sixth. Jacob, seventh.
So that's junior high, isn't it?
Yeah, that's.
I like the big junior high.
Oh, okay, I see. Everybody's supposed to sit down. Everybody's supposed to sit down, okay.
I'll say.
Thank you for coming, sweetheart. I tried to fight off with her. My what?
Cole's place on Earth.
It wasn't bad.
I will.
There was more snow up there too than I thought there would be.
Oh, hey.
to get my Christmas tree.
And then everybody else. Albert. That was good. Now, Jared, you can stay there. I like it.
Did you have to shovel snow off?
Well,
Yeah.
and you've got a place for Sherry.
Sherry, Dean, Jacob, yes, my works.
Harry, which one you got? That last one.
And he lets me drive the truck.
Sometimes.
And I need everybody to stand up and talk right into the camera.
Did you drive the truck this morning?
He's finished.
You tell Grandpa he's
Go,
next.
Grandpa, stand up and speak loudly into the
I don't need to stand up.
You do.
I think Barry is our favorite oldest son-in-law. And we do appreciate him. He's been a great one. Go ahead, Grandma.
Oh, there's so many good things to say about Barry. And I think we all look to him for whatever we need. What he says is gospel to us. And we appreciate him and appreciate his family. And a good father. good son-in-law and a good husband. We don't want to blow him up too much.
That'll let out in the back.
Yeah, it's got 2 or 3 sides as well.
So are you done?
Uh-huh.
Well, I remember the first time Susan was bringing Barry home for dinner, and we were both at Utah State, and so she had gotten me a ride home to arrive earlier than they did, so I would be sure everything was right. And I got there, and Mom had been told exactly what his favorite things were and what he did not like, and boy, she was going right by the letter. And I remember standing there thinking, do we have to work this hard to get a husband for Susan? But I'm glad we did.
Evidently it worked.
Can I go back?
You want to take back everything?
Okay. Those were the days when the store down the street would have ham sandwiches for 10 cents on Saturdays. And Barry drove by with Susan coming to the house one Saturday, and he said, well, looks like we'll have ham sandwiches again.
Oh, golly, my turn, huh? I don't know what to say. Barry's been a hard act to follow. I think of the trip that we had several years ago when we went back east, and Patty and I were living in Minnesota. And we got an itinerary that was like a book. It's like a published encyclopedia. And it had departure times and how many miles we would drive that day and where we would stay that night and the 3 or 4 sites we'd see along the way. And we still have that somewhere, and that sort of epitomizes Barry's efficiency. And so we appreciate his generosity, and he is a hard act to follow.
Hey, Kyle, beg. It can be brief. That's good.
Doesn't have to be anything, Kyle.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Happy
Great guy.
Good job. Okay, Tyler, it just has to be poetic, that's all.
I like his gravy.
Yes. Yes, thank heaven for his gravy.
Birthday, and I like to say, even though I never have a father, you really made me feel like your very own son. And I want to thank you for what you have done and taught me the whole time I was living at home. You have really taught me to be who I should follow and what I should do in my life. You really brought me. You really done so much for me. I don't know how to ever repay you. And I love you so much, like you're my very own father. Even though my father has never been around, he made me feel very proud when I was staying in your home. And I want to thank you very much for what you've done for me.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Hey, we can't stand this.
Okay, Alethea doesn't have to say anything. She just has to smile pretty. And we'll introduce you all to her in a minute. Okay, why don't you change chairs?
I don't know, Uncle Barry, he's just a good TV partner to watch TV. That's all we do. When we have to do things, Uncle Barry and I watch TV and then everybody else do it. So.
That's Amy and I's private.
Is that sort of like being called a couch potato?
Or the director.
Can hear that.
She said that.
Gotta talk louder.
She has a soft voice.
Well, where to start?
Well, whatever.
Cindy can hardly wait.
No, I'm just thankful that I have such a fun uncle as you, and no matter what, you always come through. No matter what it is, you can always count on you to come through for us. Whether it be eclairs or just what it is, you can always count on.
Thank you, Sam.
Go ahead, dear. Happy birthday.
Who's that down there? There you go. Did you get that?
Well, there'd sure be a couple of things that
that I could say about Barry and mean every one of them. I think right soon after I first met him, and Sherry and I were up at Utah State as he was, we were struggling like everybody does going to school, and Barry, I think, showed some real unselfishness when he offered me a job to sell ads for Student Life, working with him. And boy, there were just a number of occasions when I'd be out of a car, if Sherry had taken the car or something, that he'd let me take his car, and we really worked well with that project. We got along real good. Another thing that I have just always admired about Barry is his fine example as a brother-in-law, as a husband and a father, and this kind of thing. He's just an outstanding example. And to kind of ice that cake, I think the way that Barry looks after his mother is really a compliment to him as an individual. I sure admire him.
Wow. Nah, you're older.
I'm glad we're getting this all.
I want you to know that on our trip that we took to southern Utah, on page 5 of the itinerary, it said we can stop so Sherry can take a picture of Balancing Rock.
It was in there.
Happy birthday, Bear.
Well, I've enjoyed Barry. I've enjoyed being his little brother. He being 6 years older than I, we really didn't have a lot in common until we both got older. And he's always been a good example. Prior to that, I was just basically his test drum. Whatever he needed to test, he tested on me. It worked good, but it's been beneficial, and he's been a good example to me. And I love him very much. Happy birthday, Barry.
Thank you, Barry. Good mother. Good mother.
Well, he's always been just very special. And I appreciate the way he takes care of me, as I do the way Sherry and Larry look after me too. And I love to go on trips with him because it doesn't cost me anything. And they herd me so that I don't get lost. And they're very patient with me. But I just wrote a little note in his birthday card today. I don't know where the years went by, because I can remember him waking us up at 6 o'clock in the morning in that little old cradle that, I don't know whatever happened to it, but it was Grandma's cradle at the side of our bed. We'd look over there and those blue eyes would be looking up at you and he'd be cooing, just cooing, so cute. And that's kind of the way it's been, Barry.
And he still coos, huh?
Yeah.
Not snore, coo.
I do love him. He knows how much I love him. And I thank you for taking care of him,
Thank you.
being my son.
Well, Dakin and Darren, we just went around the table and everybody told Dad their favorite thing about him. I didn't want to give you two too long to think about it.
Let's put him on the spot.
Hopefully Darren's had time to
Where did
repent.
Dakin go?
Dad has a lot of money.
The never-ending source.
The never ending.
Pit.
Bottomless pit.
Yeah. I'm anxious to hear what Darren's got to say.
I'm really trying to think of something. We could hear that we have to dig deep.
If you wanted to think of something for Brandon too, you could do that.
And I'm just always glad I have someone to remind me what needs to be done. On such a regular basis.
Thanks for your heartfelt.
That was right from the bottom. And I can't believe he's so old.
Well, neither can he.
And remember that.
And you too will approach that one day.
Long time.
I don't know, it goes by pretty fast.
Well, I love you too, dear. I'm just glad that we got you here without you figuring too much ahead of time what was going on. And I'm glad this place is so darling. We could get to like this for a lot of parties in the future.
I had absolutely no clue at all until the gift thing, just as we came.
I'm sorry that I blew it right there because Brett came in the house and he said, Grandma, I had to drive 80 miles an hour to get here on time. I said, did your dad sleep through that? He said, yes. And then the darn presents.
Well, this is a very nice surprise, and thank you all very much.
You didn't even think I was weird when the only time you've been in my house this year, I left to go shopping?
I did think about that just a little bit, but I didn't put it together for this.
He just thought, well, that's something that Sherry would do.
And you showed him it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good. It is wonderful.
Well, thank you all.
Chad, turn that off so we
Now
can
what
relax.
we do, we all hold our glass up, don't we?
We didn't hear anything from Chad.
We
We
all
didn't.
hold our
That
glass
is
up and say, we love you.
I just think he's a great dad.
Water toaster too.
That's about it.
You need